Hello my quilting friends, my name is Leah Day and welcome to this free motion quilting tutorial. Today I am stitching Deranged feather, and as you can see this is a super wiggly design and a great skill builder for quilting feathers. So here's how it works. You first stitch a wiggly stem through your quilting space. That could be down the length of the border or across a block just like I've shown you here. And then you're going to branch out with your wiggly feather shapes. And these are not perfect feathers. They're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be skill building feathers. So if they're imperfect and wobbly bobbly and they don't quite fit together, that's exactly what you want. That's what this design is supposed to look like. Now I am angling my feathers down, and this is usually a struggle for me, so I really like that I'm getting this nice practice in. The key here I think is nice spacing between your feathers, and that's going to help you practice echo quilting. So you can see as I come back down, I travel stitch a bit, and then I try and maintain a nice even distance between those lines until I reach the end of the feather, and then I swirl out and can do something kind of funky. And that one I made nice and round. You can use that to fill in the corner. You can see how, if I had made that smaller, it wouldn't have filled in the corner quite so nice. And there wasn't space for two of them, so that's the best way to do that. So that is how Deranged feather works. It's really a cheat. You know, you don't have to quilt it perfectly. It's really just allowing you to have the wiggly wobbliness, the complete irregularity of quilting feathers, but you're still getting that angle. You're still getting those shapes in, and that's the key. That's the key to practicing anything, really. So now that we understand how the design works and the rules, let's jump on the long arm to see how this is going to quilt in a real quilt. So here we are stitching Deranged feather into a border. I'm just going to go nice and long, slightly wiggly vine line here. Okay, and then now I'm going to come back. I'm putting about a 1/4 inch of space or so, and it's a little bit more than that. It's like maybe 3/8 of an inch of space between those lines. I think that looks nice. And now wiggly feather shapes. I'm going to travel stitch along that vine line. Let's try and go really slow here, so that way I maintain good control. Bounce off of that and then wiggle out. The next one, I am finding it, I am tending to hold my breath here. So yeah, very careful stitching because I don't have a lot of space in this border. I think that this would be better if I had stitched it across the entire width of the border, you know, all the way across. So more than 6 inches would have been nice. Yeah. It's just a lot of concentration. Even though it's a completely irregular shape, I felt like if I went really fast, I would just clobber it. I would just stitch right over the lines and it wouldn't be right. There we go. That one's really weird looking. Careful travel stitching. I've got both hands on the handlebars. All right, that looks like a nice shape. And one more down here, fill in that corner nicely. There we go. Okay, let's travel stitch around the tip. And this is the thing I always struggle with, stitching feathers the opposite way, where they're coming backwards but angling this way. I always have had trouble with that. So this is going to be great practice because Deranged feather, it's meant to be all wiggly wobbly and wrong. You know, it's not meant to be right. So this is great. It feels kind of like rubbing my belly and patting my head or whatever that is. You know, it feels awkward. It does not feel right, but at the same time, it's, I think, looking okay. Yeah, pull that out just a little bit fast. I'm going to try and maintain that nice, slow, steady speed. I've found that that really is the key here to getting really good control and maintaining nice travel stitching. It's really easy to stitch sloppy on the long arm. That is the easiest thing to do. So if you want to stitch nice and clean, it's just a matter of learning how to steer nice and slow. All right, I'm going to travel stitch down a good bit. There we go. Branch out. And now I've got that little gap, so I want to fill that in. Something like that. That looks good. And just a few more to go. So overall, I'd say this would be very quick. If I was quilting this in a whole border, then I would, stitch the vine line and then stitch to the inside, stitch the inside deranged feather shapes, and then I'd stitch the outside deranged feather shapes. And yeah, it feels like it would be fairly quick and simple. And it's pretty funky looking too. So that's it for this video. My name is Leah Day, and I hope that you've enjoyed learning how to free motion quilt with me today. If you'd like to learn more about the sewing machines that I used in this video, the Eversewn Sparrow 20 and the Grace Cunique 14 Plus or 15R, come and check them out at leahday.com/machine. I am a sewing machine and Longarm dealer, and I would love to help you find a great machine that will help you quilt the quilts the way you want to quilt them. So come and check that out at leahday.com/machine. Until next time, let's go quilt.